Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you couldn't tell by the title, we are doing another speed build, and I don't know why that I feel the need to keep opening my intros like this. I don't know, I just do. Yeah, that's where we're at with this, and that's how it's gonna go, so that's just how we're gonna do it. So today we are building a museum, which is heavily inspired by the vacation that I just got back from, which I'm going to get into in just a moment. But I did want to say that I do actually like this build. It's a little different. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's supposed to be like this information center. It's built in Newcrest, so I thought that that was like a pretty good halfway point, if you will, between, I believe, I can't even remember like what my justification was for putting this build where it was and making it how it was, but I'm pretty sure that I kind of like use the top floor as like as a Brindleton Bay exhibit, and then or maybe it's you know what, I can't remember. We did a couple different sections for what's it called, for oh my gosh, what are those things called? I can't think of the name. Attractions, spaces. We're just gonna call them spaces because I can't think of what they're really called. And I think I just had it and it's just gone, so whatever. So we did create a couple of different spaces. Maybe it's not Salvadorada. Maybe it's Brindleton Bay and like is it Moonlit Falls or something, whatever the vampire world is. I can't remember. You guys are asking a whole lot. Like this is the lot. Anyway, so I don't know. I kind of wanted to make it like a house almost. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to like run-of-the-mill like museums that you go to on like a class trip, if that makes sense. It just kind of reminded me of that, and being in Gettysburg kind of gave me the same vibe, so I thought, you know, why not? Let's try it. Plus, it looks a little scary, a little rundown, a little bit creepy, and you know, that just adds to the pizzazz of the attraction. And you know, it's always a good time, unless you go with me on vacation, and then well, that's debatable. I have to tell you guys that I had quite an interesting vacation, to say the very least. For those of you that don't know, I was supposed to go to the Outer Banks for vacation. We got a house, me and my family, because it is too expensive. Sorry, I had to blow something off my screen. It was driving me nuts. Anyway, it is too expensive to go by yourself, and it was a couple $1,000s anyway, plus, you know, food and, you know, like human things that you have to, you know, like toilet paper, stuff like that. So we were supposed to get this house, and then the hurricane hit, and my mom just had surgery, and I didn't think that she was going to make the drive down to North Carolina from Ohio, because that's like a 10-hour drive. So instead of putting ourselves in harm's way, which I think might have actually turned out better at this point, and I'll explain that in a second, why I said that. But so we decided that we were going to go on a when did we leave? We left Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We came back Thursday. So a 5-day exploration of the state of Pennsylvania. And for those of you that have never driven, oh my gosh, I can't speak, never driven through Pennsylvania, you're in for a treat, because there's a whole lot of nothing and a lot of mountains and a lot of dead spots and a whole lot of nothing. I mean nothing, which you could probably argue that there isn't really anything in Ohio either, but you know, that's neither here nor there, and we're not getting into the semantics about that, so we're just gonna let that one go. But anyway, so we decided that we were going to get this lake house, cabin type deal in the Poconos, where we decided we were gonna go was about 2-hour drive to Philly and then a 2-hour drive to New York City, which we did go to both of those, but we'll get into that in just a minute. So, you know, we're all kind of like disappointed that we can't go to the Outer Banks or whatever. So we're like, okay, you know, we're going to do this. It's going to be fine. So Saturday comes, we're all packed up in the cars, we're ready to go. We end up going to this place called Grove City, which is like just a giant outlet mall with like Nike and Bath and Body Works and Coach and like all these different kinds of, see, it was Brindleton Bay and the Vampire World. I thought so. Anyway, so we go up to Grove City, we get some lunch, and we try to figure out where we're going from there. Which the drive up there wasn't too bad. Trying to fit 4 people in one car with suitcases and just it wasn't a good idea. And my mom was having a hard time because, like I said, she just had surgery, so she was kind of like struggling with that. So we get 4 people back in the car, and we decide that we're going to go to the Flight 93 Memorial Museum that is in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Which, if you've never been, it's quite interesting. And they just erected the Tower of Voices, I think is what it's called. I don't know. I have pictures of it. I don't know if I'll put them in. I probably won't. At some point, I'll probably post them to social media. So all those are actually down below if you guys ever want to follow me past these videos, because I am quite funny. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I promise you, I really am funny and am full of myself too. So anyway, so we get to the Flight 93, which was about another 2-hour drive. So at this point, we've been in the car for almost 5 hours, which is fine. The memorial was really nice. It was really nice to see the tower that they erected. I thought it was really cool. It's like a wind chime. They don't have all of them hung, which they probably will if you guys are watching this in the future, but it's definitely worth seeing. And seeing that on a scale like that is just, it's incredible. And to be able to see that from like when they first put it in, because we took a trip to New York City, I don't know, about 6 years ago, and it was when they had first started making the memorial for it. And it was like it was pretty sketchy. I mean, like, you could go down to the original memorial, like where we had went, but they have like this visitor center and all that stuff built up. So we decided to visit that. And we were trying to figure out where our next plan of attack was going to be, because mind you, the only thing that we have ready at this point is the lake house that is on the other side of Pennsylvania, and we're still on the north side? On the western side of Pennsylvania. So we have to go all the way over to the east side. So we're like, well, why don't we go to Gettysburg? Because that was a pretty good halfway point between where we were and where the house was. So we're like, okay. So we all got a hotel room. No, we did not share a hotel room. Couples got their own and whatever. So, so we get a hotel. And the hotel's kind of gross. I guess there was like some kind of like Christian music convention in town, and this was one of the only hotels that we could get, so we were like, okay, whatever. They all assumed that we were there for that, and we're like, sure, if you'll give us a room, we'll be whatever you want us to be. So we get the room, kind of dingy, kind of dank, standard hotel, whatever. And they only had like double beds. None of the rooms, like any of the rooms, had a king bed or a queen bed. They all had 2 double beds, which was really weird. Like, I've never been to a hotel that has that. So anyway, so we spend the night, get up the next morning, get breakfast, and we head out to Gettysburg. Well, I decided that I was going to ride with my brother and his wife because it was a little less congested. So now we've got 3 people to a car, which substantially better, let me tell you. So we get to Gettysburg. Mom's still not doing so hot. We want to go look at the different cemeteries and stuff. So we're like, why don't, the other car, why don't you guys just head to the house and whatever. So they're like, okay, we'll just meet them there. So we went through Gettysburg. It was honestly breathtaking. And there were reenactments, different kinds of stuff. Like, it was just, this whole trip, like, it was a lot of history. It was still a train wreck. Please don't get that twisted. But it was a lot of history, and I thought it was really cool to actually, like, get to see some of this stuff. So we saw Gettysburg, got some lunch, and then decided that, we would head to the house. So get back in the car because, we haven't been in the car enough for the last 2 days. So we drive, I think it's like 3 hours from Gettysburg. Or no, it's probably like 2. I can't remember. Whatever. So we get in motion to get to the house, and we get lost when we're almost there, first off. And it was just like, I don't know how to explain it to you. It was almost dark, so it was kind of creepy being in the woods like that. And we got turned around, and we ended up finding the house eventually. Now, mind you, we have not spoken to my mom or anyone else that is in the house by the time we get there. So we get to the house, and like, I start carrying my stuff up because it looks like my mom and everyone kind of got tired from carrying everything. So I pick up my stuff off the front porch, and I walk in the house, and I'm immediately thrown off kilter. Literally thrown off kilter. The entire house was slanted. And I'm not talking like a little slant. I'm talking like you could literally, like, I took my suitcase when we packed up, took my suitcase, put it on its wheels, and I stayed on the lower floor. But I packed my suitcase, and I set it, like the wheels or whatever, I set it upright, and I just gave it like a little push, and it rolled all the way to the rest of this house. Like, I didn't even have pictures of this house. That's how unimpressed and how pissed off I was that we were even staying here, because first off, there was no lake. The lake was about 5 miles down the road, and so was all the other amenities like the golf cart and the private slip, this, that, and the other. Like, all this stuff was like 5 miles down the road. And the way that this guy described the place that we were staying at, where it was like right there. Like, everything was right there. And that's kind of why my mom was like, yeah, you know, let's do this instead, because she was still having a hard time getting around. So we ended up staying in the crooked house on the crooked hill with the crooked family. So that was like the running joke the entire time that we were gone. So we got there. Tuesday was just kind of like a chill day. My brother and his wife went to like this animal park or whatever. We just kind of hung out at the house, had dinner, whatever. Wednesday, me, my brother, and my sister-in-law get up at the ass crack of dawn. I like 6:30, I think, is like when my sister-in-law finally got up. Get in the car. We go to Carlo's Bakery, because how can you have a New York trip without getting some cannolis? Am I right? Get the cannolis, and then we go to New York City, and I am so in love with New York. Like, my soul feels at peace amongst all that chaos. And I know that that sounds crazy, but I am such a diehard New York girl. I can't even explain it to you guys. Like, I think I just like city life in general, because it's busy. I like chaos, but I like chaos around me. I don't like chaos in my life. I like observing chaos or being a part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that makes any sense. I don't know for anyone else if that makes any sense to anyone else, but to me it makes sense, so we're going with that. So we went to New York Wednesday. We got back kind of late, and I think we got back at like 6 or 7 or so, which wasn't too bad. So we were gone for like 12 hours, I think. My sister-in-law was not. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. We went to Philadelphia. That was another nightmare. So we went to New York City, went to Philadelphia. New York City was by far like the best time that we had. We went to Philly. It was a nightmare. It started raining. I didn't realize that the Liberty Bell and where Rocky shot the famous stair scene was so far apart. So there was a lot of money spent on parking and a lot of frustration. Everyone kind of like jumping everyone's crap because we were all really tired. And I had to pay this guy that was standing outside the Rocky statue money to take a picture of me and my brother and sister-in-law, because he snatched my brother's phone and was like not going to give it back to him. So that was my horrible vacation. I mean, I enjoyed myself, don't get me wrong, but it was definitely not, yeah, it wasn't my favorite time. But so we're in a screenshot, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of like little story time that I did for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I know screenshots are a little weird, seasons are weird, whatever, you know, this is just how we're going to roll with it. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please make sure to leave any feedback or comments or anything you want to see on this channel in the comments down below, because I can freaking remember what I'm saying, when I'm going to say it, and how I'm going to say it. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.